We call to order the July 8th, 2025 East Ascension, East Ascension Drainage Meeting. We are, let's see, we're missing Mr. Turner and Mr. PT. Everyone else is present. Mr. Brett, can you do the invocation? Please, sir.
Lord, thank you for another opportunity to serve our parish, God. We thank you for Central Parish leadership here and the opportunity to serve, God. We pray that you would bless our discussions, our decisions tonight. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, sir. Move on to public comment section. If anybody in the audience has got a public comment they wish to speak on an item, to my left, fill out a red or green card, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Moving on to 4, acceptance of minutes. 4A, accepting of minutes. Motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Motion and a second. Moving on. Chairman's reports. Chairman's reports. Chairman has no reports or announcements. Item 6, general business. Item A, approval of contract with Delcon LLC to flood support. For the flood support, the contract is for the project and maintenance services of pumping stations and adjacent equipment at East Ascension Drainage Department for the term of the contract. This contract is for 2 years, beginning July 12th, 2025, with a budget allowance, total budget allowance of $2 million.
Motion.
Got a motion from Mr. Chase and a second from Mr. Bryan. Any questions? Any objections? Hearing none. Moves to the council. Item B, approval of amendment number 1 with Elos Environmental LLC for wetland and delineation services. This amendment is to increase the total contract amount by $150,000 for the total amount not to exceed $300,000.
Motion approved.
There may be more than one provider contracted to provide these services on a task order basis. Motion by Mr. Melanson, second by Mr. Hillensbeck. Any questions? Mr. Joe?
I was just curious, the contracted services that are spoken of in here, is that within that 300,000 contracted by Elos, or is that we're contracting someone else other than Elos?
Yes, so good question. It is in the wording of the item. That is a shared pool budget. So the next item is the other firm.
Okay.
So it is multiple firms, but
Thank you. But it's within that 300,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Any more questions, comments? We had a motion by Mr. Melanson and a second by Mr. Arsenault. Hillensbeck. All right. Any more questions, comments, objections? Hearing none. Motion moves to council. Item C, approval of amendment number 1 with Geoengineers Incorporated with wetland delineation services. This amendment is to increase the total contract by $150,000 for a total not to exceed $300,000. There may be more than one provider contracted to provide these services on a task order basis. A motion by Mr. Hillensbeck, second by Mr. Arsenault. Any questions, discussions? Hearing none. Motion passes. Item 7, quarterly drainage report. Mr. Jade. And hold on, hang on one second. We also, Mr. Ron's going to do an update to a bulkhead update.
Yeah, I'll just follow behind Jay once you guys are wrapped up with questions and answers. No problem.
All right.
So this is our quarterly from April to June. Drainage work orders new that came in. You can see the month of April, we received around 160, May 112, 110 in June. As of yesterday's reports, 28 for July. Yeah, it's a drop, so we're starting to see a little progress here. So very, very pleased with this. Our work orders completed, 102 in April, 63 in May, 53 in June. The drop in completed that you see in May and June is due to large projects, and you'll see some of that a little bit at the end of this. The large projects take a lot of time, so we don't get to eat away at some of the smaller work orders as quick. So total in process right now is 41, 25 in minor, 16 in major, 2 that's a EAD related or bigger projects. And culvert maintenance fluctuates from 1 to 10 a day depending on the size. So that's just where we blow out the culverts and keep these open. So that report fluctuates very daily. So this here, I kind of picked some of this stuff, a little maintenance and a little bit, we're in hurricane season, so kind of ease up some of the residents and some of the great things that we are doing and seeing some of these bigger jobs. This here is a maintenance job. This is in Manchac Harbor, where a bulkhead, the outfall pipe was not sealed properly through the bulkhead, and it caused some sinkhole issues. Sinkhole issues is probably one of the #1 issues that we have in the parish. So I wanted to give y'all just a good idea what it takes to do this. You build cofferdams, go in, reseal the pipe, and unfortunately, when this was built, it was built with concrete pipe, and they also joined joints of metal pipe in. It was kind of looked like a leftover situation. The catch basin was not built very, very great, so we had to rip the catch basin out and rebuild it. So it gives you residents' idea what it takes to do this work coming behind, 20 years later. It's very time consuming. It's a 2, 3, 4 week process sometimes. So this photo here is actually at the road at the catch basin, and the reason I put it there is to give you an idea of that process. Look at the amount of utilities that we work around. It's a lot of utilities. So it's a huge process to do this. So these guys are doing a fabulous job. So this should be completed in the next week or two, but it has certainly been a good process. Kind of represents why we can't kill a lot of the smaller work orders when we do something like this. So this here is our Toby Street project right here in Gonzales, where we took that bridge out, we replaced it with box culverts. So now we've got a nice lifetime crossing. Along with that, same crew went in and performed maintenance on the ditch so that we would flow water to enhance it. We've got the Burat ditch right here. These are some of those projects that we've been working on from spring to now that really enhances these outfalls to the larger canals. Some of Ron and Clint's capital projects that gets this water out of here, that supports our hurricane seasons and our flash flooding. So beautiful work these guys are doing. These are big projects, takes a lot of time. Muddy Creek right here from Airline to Henry Road, same thing. That pulls a lot of water across your parish. So this is complete. So this one here, I was really proud of the crew. That left-hand photo, you see that nice swell. That is actually in a resident's front yard in the servitude. This was a very old engineering design where we had a subpar pipe for today's standards with a swell on top. And what it was doing when the pipe was full of water, it would overflow and use the swell. But the result in that was not only impacting this resident, but his neighbor. It would actually overflow their driveway. It used their driveway as a swell also. So it caused a pretty bad situation. But in one of our learning curves in how we do work, performing beautiful work like this where somebody can mow their yard and not have just a drainage ditch. So we're trying to enhance some of that stuff. And I'm really proud of our crews for the type of work they're doing now. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And go back to our sinkhole issue. This is something that is very high demand right now. This is just improper sealing or grouting, catch basins. We fight that. Obviously, or minor drainage. We're trying to break them up and have every crew hitting one of these, not just one crew taking care of them, because it is a high volume of them. This is what it looks like after we go in. So you physically dig the whole thing out and do your grouting, sealing, or replacing. Sometimes we have to replace them. You just can't grout them or seal them. So this is our Marvin Bro Cut project. This redirects that water from the eddy, and when we're running 6, 7 pumps, it creates a lot of turbulence. Just a sneak peek at it. We're a lot further along than what you see, but this is the inlet that flows out into the swamp to address getting that water out of there and help keep that water out of our parish. But huge job. We're working on the backside of it now, so hopefully we'll complete it with this in a month or so. I don't want to talk too much about this, but just a sneak peek of, there again, hurricane season, some of the upgrades. I'll let the GIS department maybe come in one day when Clint allows and give an update on the full project. But this is your screen at Marvin Bro on our first engine, control panel. These were all built in-house, so we're very excited to have these guys, and you can see the beautiful work they've done. Engine number 1 is 100% working. We're able to run it by SCADA. All testing phases are over, and they moved on through 2 through 5 right now. This kind of gives you an idea of some of the telemetry, some of the instruments it takes to collect the data, go from pneumatic to electric, and send that to these computer devices. So I figure I might want to see some of that progress kind of. So we move on to kind of vegetation department. So this is a highlight of our operator gets to drive in cabin air and does a fantastic job. And what else we have to deal with that takes a lot of time is, look over here to the right. We have these hand labor crews and chest waders. It's something that we do a lot of, but I did want to showcase that, the amount of work and the effort that it takes to get that out of these box culverts and keep that water flowing. Because look, we can have a storm next week and everything upstream is going to be sent to these locations, and we start doing it all over again. That's the result of that hard work right there. So I'd like our residents to know we're really working hard to keep these things open, and we do understand what time of year we're in. And we're very proud of our maintenance departments for recognizing this. So vegetation-wise, we are 1 cycle into our mowing season. State roads are completed 1 cycle. All parish is completed 1 cycle. We are working with the rain. We concentrated mainly on roadways because the grass was growing so fast. And if anybody knows, minus the drainage impact it makes, it also makes safety impacts of visibility in certain areas for motorists. So we concentrate on that a lot. Now we're working on off-road to get those percentages up, and also going back into that second cycle. State highways are already in their second cycle, and we are in our 3rd cycle of actual spraying. So we're right on cue where we focused on hitting that June mark, end of June, to where we run into October, and then come winter time, as the weather permits, we really hit the off-roads pretty hard so that we can cycle back into the spring work. And that's all I got for you today.
All right, Mr. Joel's got a question.
Is there any way you can pull those back up? That one right there is the first one I wanted to talk about, which that's a hard work, and I appreciate the hell out of what those guys are doing. Just out of personal experience, and it would work with a culvert or a box this large too. I've taken actual tires,
Yes.
and you hook the tire, and it depends on if you have right of way enough or servitude to get over there to pull it. But I mean, I've pulled tires through small culverts, big culverts, and what it's doing is it's just pulling all that crap out to you. Then you can have your machine and drag it out where you can't get under there. Just a suggestion. I mean, I've seen it work.
We've done that in some circumstances. Actually, Clint had sent that to us probably 3 years ago,
Okay,
some
good deal.
videos. And you're right, it's amazing what it'll do.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because
It
I mean,
really
you can
is.
pull it through. That rubber's going to let you pull it through whether it can make
Yeah,
it or not. Yeah.
That's right.
Second, and it's I wanted to stop you then, but I didn't, because it kind of toward the beginning. And with the slides after the lighthouse, you were showing the tractors digging the ditch. Right there, that's it. The front of that track, 2 questions for you. Is the arm on that not long enough for them to be extended or onto the flat property or flat land?
I understand where you're going.
And secondly, I can't tell in the picture, but I would assume that front, you know how you have your front, what's it called?
The blade would be.
The blade,
Yeah.
I mean, if the blade's down and it's
Yeah.
got pressure, it should be fine too, but
Yeah,
like you said, you know where I'm going, you
Yeah.
just gotta be careful when you're on these banks, 'cause,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I see he's tracked sideways, which puts the load on the side of the truck.
Sideways,
so-
or even if he
so
had
yeah,
to
it
go that
is-
way, back up a little bit to where he's not pulling himself down if he,
Yeah.
you know.
It's,
But
it's certainly something I'll identify
I
in my
appreciate
next
it, and,
meeting.
great work, keep it up.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Robert. Anybody else? Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. G. Have a presentation with Mr. Ron, the bulkhead update.
All right, good evening, Commission, and I'd like to thank the members that came out to the ADAPT meeting. Several of you guys have attended that, and we appreciate it, and the invitation, remains open for you guys to attend if y'all wish. But getting into this, the bulkhead project that y'all had approved, it's well underway. You can see in some of the pictures, kind of when we first kicked off, they get deliveries and get out to the site. This is some of the first piles going in around the second week of June. They really got started and kind of got their groove going. So we're very appreciative of the company that they have this amphibious machinery. This could have been a whole lot more complex project, but having the right machinery to do the job the right way makes things go a lot easier. So we're very appreciative of the company supplying the right tools to do the job. This is kind of an aerial view. I'll click and it's going to get in a video of this, but kind of gives you the perspective of what we're doing. So you'll see that we're driving the new piles right behind the old failed bulkhead. These are 25-foot sheet piles. So the idea is they're going to install that wall first and wrap that up. And you'll see some of the procedures they're doing. It takes two machines to really drive these piles in place. They've got a guide that lays them out straight, and they're checking level as they're going down. And you may ask the question, why are they not driving them all the way down? So I'm learning some of this as we go as well. And the reason they do that is because when they drive one down, it might pull the next one down as well. So they kind of do a domino effect, and they go up and down the whole line as they're driving these, and they get it down to that last grade that we're trying to achieve. So you'll see some of them sticking up here and there, and some places they are harder to drive than the others. So they're leaving the ones that are problematic and moving along, and then they come back and they sometimes gain momentum and get going. But this is sort of where they are to date. They've now made it to New River as of today. And as you can see, the gentleman by that pile as they're going down, you'll see at the end, he's checking level at multiple stages of the drive. And this is in fast motion, so they stop 2 or 3 times per pile and check tolerance on level sideways and forward and backwards. So we thought we'd just give you guys an overview of where we're at and where we're heading is now that they're in New River, just kind of from the land looking back. But now that they're in New River, they'll be approaching the bridge going into Holy Rosary Church in the next few days. There is the main power line there that goes from Weber City Road to the church. So they have coordinated with Energy, and they have that set up for Monday to kill the power because of these long booms around power lines and challenges with that. And hopefully by the end of next week, we are hopeful that we'll be close to finished driving the piles. And then they'll come in and put the pile cap on top of the sheets. And then we get into the demolition of the existing bulkhead and then the dress work behind the new wall. And so we're well on course, right on schedule. Crew's been doing very good. They've been fighting the weather a good bit. As these long booms are in the air, they have to watch for lightning. So they've had those challenges, but continue to work through them. So project's going well. Just thought we'd give you guys an update. Any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Pretty neat. Any questions? Mr. Joel?
I mean, judging by the length of those pilings and all the the way it's looping in together, I wouldn't imagine it would, but that bulkhead in front of it, when they're taking that out, it wouldn't disturb it enough to affect the new wall, would it?
No, no, we actually have a plan to draw down the waters a little bit, to where at a low tide, you'll actually see the bottom of that existing bulkhead.
And those
Yep.
pilings, existing pilings from the one before, disturbing those, or,
No.
okay?
We've actually had geotechnical analysis done, cross-section, so Hartman Engineering has evaluated that whole scenario there.
Okay.
And they've actually developed the scope of work of how to meet the methods.
But you see what I'm saying, like, if
Yeah,
you were to pull a
absolutely.
piling, it makes that vacuum there might pull some of that, but.
Yeah, no, they're gonna cut all of that stuff off at the surface and just.
So they're leaving it on the.
Yeah, the
ground.
piles under the ground, like behind
They're gonna leave
the
the
wall,
piles
they
in.
left all that in the ground. They're not disturbing some of that
Gotcha.
stuff that's down there. They're just removing the stuff above the water and all the debris on top. And
Now,
then
the pilings, they're leaving underwater, how far under the water are they gonna be?
they're not in the flow line. They're right outside this bulkhead, so they're gonna be cut off at the surface of the
No, I'm
slope.
just saying as far as like, if not where a boat could hit it. if
No,
it's-
not at all.
Good
Not
deal.
at all.
Keep up the good work, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, anybody else got any questions?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hillsback to adjourn, second by Mr. Molson.